Hey, Alex Lance here at the kitchen. Just wanted to go over a pattern I noticed from Saturday's mixed doubles matchup between Ben Johns and Catherine Parenteau and Leigh Waters and Will Howells. So this was a much anticipated matchup because we haven't seen Ben play against Leigh in several years, but it ended up being not as close as maybe many people thought it would be, thanks to what I think was some good strategy by Leigh and Will and just generally great play on their part. So one thing that led to their success was what appeared to be a conscious decision whenever Ben came over to take a dink in front of Parenteau. So Ben was doing this a lot in both men's doubles with Hunter Johnson and mixed doubles with Parenteau, but he wasn't really doing that much with his shot when he came over on their side of the court to take this dink. So a lot of times he would just pull a dink back to the middle of the court, and then with the very next ball, Will Howells almost every time was going back to Ben's sideline. A lot of times Will was able to take that dink out of the air, which was taking time away from Ben and kind of putting him in a tough spot. So this kept happening throughout the match over and over and over, which leads me to believe that it was a specific point of emphasis for the fives going in. Leigh and her mom, Leigh Waters, who is New Jersey's coach, obviously have seen Ben play mixed a lot over the years, so maybe this is something that they know works against him or just something that they wanted to try for whatever reason. Here you can see what I'm talking about on a few different occasions. By my count, this exact pattern of dinks happened 9 times throughout the game, which is a lot from one game to 11 for like one specific pattern to be happening. You can also see here, it's basically the same pattern on a third shot drop that Ben came pretty far over to take, and they end up losing the point because Will is able to go back behind Ben on the very next ball. So this pattern accomplishes a couple things for New Jersey. Number one, it makes Ben move a lot. He's having to exert a lot of energy to cover this much court, and they're just making it so that he's constantly moving and off balance, and it's hard for him to control points the way that he wants to, or the way that he's kind of known to do. The second thing this does is it opens the court. Since they have brought Ben all the way back over to his sideline, that allows them to take the next ball back toward Catherine, which is who they ultimately are trying to isolate in this matchup. So they were just very effective at this, and I couldn't believe how disciplined they were with this pattern. Almost every time Ben came over in front of Catherine to take a dink, Will would put that ball back over in that corner on Ben's sideline. So props to Leigh and Will. They clearly had a strategy and they executed it flawlessly. I would also keep this pattern in mind if you're an amateur player. The next time you're playing mixed doubles against a really aggressive guy, you might not win points right away just by dinking to that guy's sideline, but it's more of a long-term play designed to wear them out over the course of a match and open up the court for some opportunities to attack the women's player.